How's it going? Welcome to my channel. I'm Preston with Newman's Chimney and Dryer Vent. So you got a bird in your chimney. It's a lot more common than you think. Problem number one, the reason that this is happening is because you don't have a chimney cap. Chimney caps are important for many reasons. Number one is they have a spark arrestor on it. That way it keeps any embers inside the chimney. That way they're not ending up on the roof or out in the yard starting a fire. Second issue with not having a chimney cap is it keeps the water out of your system. Masonry systems, that's typically where you end up with birds. When water comes in, it deteriorates mortar joints. It can break down the structure of the chimney. It can break down the firebox. The brick and mortar in the firebox will start getting loose. And sometimes you can even have bricks falling out, or even a collapse of that back wall of the fireplace. Third issue is you get critters. So what happens is birds like to hang out on top of the chimney. It's normally the highest point on the house. They've got a good 360-degree vantage point, so they can see predators, whatever. So they'll hang out on the flue pipe, and sometimes they fall down inside. The way these systems are built, most of the time it prevents them from being able to escape. So the way your chimney system is constructed is you have your firebox. That's what you see. That's your fireplace. Above that is a structure called the throat. That's where the damper is. That's the thing that opens and closes to eliminate any air exchange when you're not looking for air exchange. Above your throat is an upside down funnel structure. It's called a smoke chamber. It goes from the size or the width of your fireplace up to the width of the flue. It's in place for aerodynamics. It just kind of funnels everything up into the flue. And then you have your flue, and that goes up. The flue is what, that's the cavity inside the chimney. That's the actual chimney of the chimney. At the base of the smoke chamber, behind the throat, behind the damper, is a flat surface. It's called a smoke shelf. It's in place for any debris that falls from the chimney, from the flue. It ends up on the smoke shelf. That way it's not coming into the firebox. Now, this is not the way other systems are built. So your prefabricated systems, your gas direct vent systems, they don't have any of this. This is just for masonry systems, which is your main culprit for getting birds. So what happens, the bird falls in, it ends up on that smoke shelf, and then because of the funnel shape of the smoke chamber, it can no longer spread its wings wide enough to escape. So that's why birds fall in and they get stuck. Logic would say, why don't they just fly out? Well, they can't. And that's why. So some companies, a lot of your pest control companies, what they'll do is they'll try to reach up from the fireplace, and I don't know exactly how they do it, but sometimes they're able to get the bird out that way. I prefer not to do it that way, because if you grab a hold of that bird, pull him out, if you drop him and let him go, he's going to go all over the house. And by that time, he's probably covered in soot or creosote. So as he's flying around the house, you're getting stuff everywhere. So when I show up to a bird removal appointment, first thing I want to do is close the damper. That way there's no possibility of that bird coming down into the fireplace and into the house and creating a big mess. So what I do is I close the damper, I get on top of the chimney. From there, I use the brush that I use during a sweep, send my brush down, all the way down the chimney, onto that smoke shelf, and then I sprinkle bird seed on top of the brush. And I coax the bird onto the brush. Sometimes 5 minutes, I'm in, out, and it's done. Sometimes, depending on how stubborn the bird is being, it can take a couple of hours. But generally an hour or so, and we're done. So yeah, I sprinkle the bird seed, I coax the bird onto the brush, and then I slowly lift the brush out with the bird on top of it. And then there you go. That's it. Then I'll recommend installing a chimney cap, and then we're all done. That's the anatomy of a bird removal and why birds get stuck in your chimney.
You are free. Bye, bud.